Okay, this is the mess that we're going to try to cut with the JBar 4-foot bush hog. As you can see, it's quite overgrown, although it doesn't look like real thick stuff. And here is the Kubota with the 4-foot JBar on it. And we'll try to edit this thing together and see what we can come up with. But as you can see, it's quite a mess over here. I'll take a picture of the field in a minute. Well, as you can see, there's the JBar 4-footer. It's doing very well on the back of the BX. I'm very happy. If you look down here, you can see on the left in the video, I got 3, 4, 5 foot high growth over here and some little baby trees. And if you can see well enough on the cut part, I'm probably going to have to cut twice to get it down to where he wants it. But it's doing a really good job. It's not laboring. Don't seem to be having an issue at all. We're going to see what we can do here, get the rest of this field. So I'll take a picture from the same spot when I'm done. Let me back up here. And there's the tractor and the 4-foot 48-inch JBar, and it's the brush hog. And it seems to be doing pretty well right now. There was no path here where you see that cut between the trees and the grass on the left. I just made I think that's 3 passes, and only took me about 10-15 minutes so far. I'm going slow. I want to make sure everything's okay, but so far so good. Okay, there's the tractor and a JBar. It's a BX 2360 and the JBar 48-inch cut. As you can see, I've gotten a lot more done since the last video, and of course on the other side of that mess, I cut just as much over there. I guess it's about 30 yards worth. Probably got another 25 yards in thickness to cut. Show you this end. And I think it's doing a great job. This field was neglected for years. 5 or 6 foot little trees and stuff in here. And we're going to try to clean it up so he can kind of make it his backyard here with some grass. JBar looks good. I've adapted it to a quick hitch. Makes it easier to put it on and off. And it just seems to be working great. Alright, I'm going to have a friend take a video now, since somebody's here, of what the bush hog looks like as we go down the length of this thing. So I'm going to hand the phone over to him and go rev this thing up. Just follow me up down there. Okay. I'll put my hand up. Well, there we go. It's done. The whole field. Now he can use his regular mower on it. He'll have to set it high and cut it a couple times, but the whole field is done. JBar 48-inch did a great job. Hardly strained, and it was pretty thick in the middle of this field. I'm going to do that field back there where you see the truck. That's the next field I'm going to do, but it's a lot smaller than this one. So there you go. Well, as you can see, that's where I pulled in my truck to unload the Kubota, and you could see how high some of this grass is. It's 5 foot, 4 foot. I'm in the second part of the field now, and there is the JBar 48-inch. I've already done this much of it. I've completely cut the other field, and he's actually doing a fine cut over there now with his tractor. So let me just see if I can. You can see that field back there. I cut around that pole barn and did quite well. So we're going to continue here and see what we can do. We still have to cut all this down. Okay, I've got this half of the field done, and what I'm going to do now is move my truck up so I can now cut over here the rest of this. This was a very rough area. I had to go very slow, but one of the problems is, if you look here, whoever owned this house before my friend picked it up threw this 3/4 inch stone all over the place. Doesn't look like any rhyme or reason, and it's a little rough going, so I don't want to hurt the cutter, so I'm cutting a little higher and a little slower. But so far we've got 2 fields, I'd say 100 yards by 100 yards and 200 yards by 80 yards, and did a good job. Got it all done in about 2.5 hours. Plus I cut around that pole barn. It was very overgrown. I couldn't get pictures of it, I forgot. Sorry about that, but I'm going to move the truck and finish the cut. Now there's a picture from the back of the house. That's what the field looks like cut down. We're going to trim it some more. You might be able to see my truck way in the background. That's the other field we cut. And there's the old JBar. I'll get a better picture of it later. And of course the twin Kubota over here.